Welcome into the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Great show today, folks. Jessica Freeburg on the way with Dumb Crimes, Stupid Criminals. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about cold cases. You know, it's always assumed that a cold case is never a cold case, and you can always reopen it. You can always get back into it, and maybe we can always solve those cold cases. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit today about frustration, about how sometimes a cold case just stays a cold case. You may say, well, Tim, is that always the case? Well, today we're going to talk with our guest, Michael Kelly, about his new book called In Public Record, A Journey to the Truth of a Murder and Trial. A wonderful book that's out there right now by wildbluepress. We'll talk about a certain case in Shakerheights, Ohio, that has been a cold case for a long, long time, September of 1990 to be exact, and why this case is a particularly tough nut to crack, and why he, of all people, tried to give it a shot. Michael Kelly is a graduate of Youngstown State University and the YSU Basic Peace Officer Training Academy. He's a former full-time police officer with numerous training certificates in evidence and investigation. He now works in the gaming industry and lives in Northeast Ohio. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in for the first time to True Crime Tuesday, Michael Kelly. Michael, how you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for having me, Tim. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being here. Love this book. I got to tell you, first of all, I love this book. And I love, first of all, you've got to be one of the most tenacious people I've ever met. First of all, I got to say that.
I hope that's not true, but
I tell you,
in this case, I couldn't give up.
Tell me why, first of all. Tell me, what was it about, because I'll tell you, I get inspired by certain things, right? I can read something, I can see something, get inspiration. And I think most of us do this. We'll watch something on television, we'll read something and go, you know what, I'm going for it. And then we can run out of steam quick. It's just like, yeah, I don't think I'm getting off the couch for that. But you went a little bit further. Tell us what it was that inspired you to go after this case.
I just, through whatever force, it felt like there was a finger being pointed at me. I didn't even know about this case. I grew up about 20 minutes, 20 miles, 20 minutes away from these kids. And the essential kids in the story, they're in high school at the same time I was. We were all within 3 or 4 years of age. But I didn't remember it from when I was younger. I must not have been reading the papers, watching the TV news as much. But I learned about this case actually from after reading a couple books by local author James Renner, and he was coming to my public library, and so I just happened to bring one of his books to the library and wondered where he was. I thought I'd just get an autograph and ask him a couple questions, and I happened to walk into a conference room where he was giving a presentation on his newest book, Little Crazy Children, which is about the September 14th, 1990 murder of lisaleepruett and the subsequent 1993 trial of her former classmate, Kevinyoung, for the murder. I'd never heard of it. I saw a couple familiar faces and names in the presentation, and I thought it'd be interesting enough to read, and I bought the book later in the week, and when I look back on it, it's kind of an astonishing tale, an astonishing journey of what things I was able to find. Just really, I got chest deep in this based on the results of a couple Google searches, and so the rest is chronicled in the book.
Right. So, Michael, let me ask you this then. And you don't have to tell me the piece of evidence or what, but what was the feeling? When was the exact moment you knew, as you're going through Google searches, as you're going through certain things about the case, what was the exact same moment or that moment that you know that, you know what, I'm hooked, I got to get involved? Because you go from being a former officer, you're a civilian now, right, at this point? And
Yes.
you you think it's like that line from The Godfather that, I'm out now, they pulled me back in. I'm paraphrasing, or,
Yeah.
it's that one, it's one of those things where you go, I don't have to get involved. This is just, I'm a bystander, but you
Mhm.
see this and now where's that moment where you have that call to action?
Yeah, I mean, I think police officer is one of the careers that kind of always stay with you. It was something I wanted to do, and very glad I did, but I kind of moved away from. But it's always a part of you, and you always kind of look at things through that lens, especially when you read or watch something on true crime. But it's something. It's people feel it more of a calling, than just a job or something to do. People feel, a calling, a duty,
Hmm.
and most of us that are in the lines of that, first responders and such feel their careers or callings or duties and stuff like that. So basically, I just, according to my training and experience, I read James Renner's books, and he goes into a lot of detail about, the larger goings on, people, all these things associated with the school, the people, the crime, the trial. And but he had enough little nuggets of information about the crime and some of the evidence that, I just, a curious mind could start looking into. And I started to wonder if the nature of the crime, the kinds of evidence you're looking for, I started to wonder if everything had been accounted for correctly. Because and there's a few of the details in the book as to what people were wearing, what they said in their statements, and just on a quick break at work, I was on a computer and started looking up types of footwear into Google, and the first one was search was just kind of looking into a very common pair of shoes that's been around forever, for more than our lifetimes. And the second one, I refined a Google search, and I found one old article of clothing for sale, and it's astonishing that it wasn't in a landfill, that somebody had both hung on to it and was trying to sell it now, 30 something years later. I looked at that ad and I said, it was the first, you know, eureka moment that struck me as like, this could be the missing link in the case.
Interesting. Interesting. I tell you what, let's kind of recap for people what this case is
Mhm.
and what
Mhm.
what drags you in. Okay, so in September of 1990, you're in Shaker Heights, Ohio, and there's a teenager by the name of Lisa Lee Pruett. Tell us what happens to Lisa Lee and about the players involved here. Tell us, she's our victim here, correct?
Right, right. She was 16 years old, just started her junior year at Shaker Heights High. She was, by all accounts, a wonderful young person, honor student, Girl Scout, well liked, everything you would want your daughter or sister or whoever to be. Very good person. She had been in a relationship with a young man named Daniel Dreifort for a while, and he was also the same class in Shaker Heights High. And he had been placed in involuntary psychiatric care at the Cleveland Clinic for a number of weeks, about 35 days. And he was released early on this one day on September 13th of 1990. So, and his father worked as an administrator at the Cleveland Clinic. So he was released early it was a Thursday. So was able to come home and then go to high school to surprise Lisa. And she was ecstatic to see her boyfriend, Daniel. It was shaping up to be a great day. She went on to pass her driver's test that day. She got her driver's license. It's an important milestone. Um, and then Daniel had was trying to arrange a get together late night at his house, as supposedly some of this network of friends had done. And the book, James Renner's book, introduced us to at least me, to the notion of roboparties, where people used overdosing on cough syrup, such as Robitussin, as a recreational drug. So her boyfriend Daniel was trying to organize a get together with a number of friends, including Lisa, for that later that night after midnight. People would sneak out of their houses and come over to his house. And so gradually, the people he had invited all sort of declined and figured they weren't coming over. But Lisa wanted to see her boyfriend, and they supposedly had snuck out numerous times in the past to see each other late at night. So at some time after midnight, she snuck out of her family's home and got on her bicycle for about a mile or so ride to Daniel's house. And around 12:30 a.m. after midnight, it would be early Friday morning, some screams were reported to police by a neighbor. A unit responded, didn't see anything or find anything. And then later, Daniel called the police to report that Lisa was supposed to have come over to his house, and she wasn't there. She was missing, and he had found her bicycle in the bushes in the yard next to his family's property. And so police eventually responded, and searching the yards, in the neighbor's yard, which is essentially, it's called a backyard. It's essentially a side yard that makes up the corner lot on a intersection of streets, a north, south, east, west T intersection. The corner lot is basically an empty lot of lawn bordered by a sidewalk with very thick, saplings and trees in there, kind of brushy. And she was found her bike was found closer to the sidewalk, and she was found in this yard on the other side of the vegetation, stabbed to death.
Ooh.
And her shirt was pulled up, and her pants and panties were pulled completely off of one leg and left around the ankle of her right leg.
Jeez.
And they estimated that different accounts have between 19 and 22 stab wounds, but there's no signs of sexual assault.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we'll do, Michael. We'll take a break here because there's some unusual things about the crime that you point out in the book. And I want to talk a little bit about that. And you make an interesting analogy, too, in the book that I want to allude to, but I don't want to go too far into because it does play out later in the book. But you do make you do allude to a favorite wrestler of mine, which I do want to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
Which I thought was a little, I got a little chuckle out of, but I found it a little heartwarming too. Heartwarming and disturbing. There's those two things that kind of go hand in hand.
Disturbing.
A little more disturbing than heartwarming, but I did kind of get a chuckle and think about it because I mean, especially with the passing of Hulk Hogan last year, he was a good buddy of Hulk Hogan. So
Right.
I'll tease you with that as we go into break. The book is In Public Record, A Journey to the Truth of a Murder and Trial. It is available right now. We have a link in the description of this program. Great book, folks. I want you to go out and check it out. Go get it while we're in the break. It's put out by wildbluepress. When we come back, we'll talk about the unusual little circumstances around lisaleepruett's murder and what makes this unusual. There's a few little things that Michael found that he had to pursue. We'll talk about that when we come back. And we'll talk about why Michael was stonewalled in this investigation. And we'll leave it at that because I want to I'm going to leave some meat on the bone today, folks, and it may frustrate you, but there's a reason I'm doing it, because I want you to go get this book. It is so incredibly intriguing. All right. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm going to do that to you today. Again, In Public Record, A Journey to the Truth of a Murder and Trial. Michael Kelly is our guest. When we come back, the circumstances around lisaleepruett. When we come back right here on the best in true crime podcasting, this is True Crime Tuesday. Welcome back to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. My guest is Michael Kelly. Name of the book is In Public Record, A Journey to the Truth of a Murder and Trial. It's put out by wildbluepress. We have a link in the description of this program. All right, Michael, before the break, we were talking a little bit about the specifics of the murder of lisaleepruett and kind of the ins and outs of what happened that fateful night. I want to get now to some of the nuances, some of the things that were going on around this crime that start to flesh out who might have done it. Because, again, this is a cold case. From reading the book, it seems to me that investigators might have been, it's a good way of putting this, Michael, like they may have had their clues, like it, but there may have also, is it safe to say there might have been a little bit of interference here as to who they could have gone after?
Well, that's putting it mildly. There, in the book, I kind of take it through a chronological journey of first the backstory of the case, everything that happened, then my involvement, and it's certainly an astonishing thing. The first day of investigation, handling the crime scene, the first suspects you have to look at was, of course, Daniel, her boyfriend, because she was murdered within, 100 to 150 feet of his home. So, he had to be interviewed and questioned, eliminated. His parents vouched that he was inside the home with them when they all heard the screams that were reported to police by other neighbors, saying that Daniel and his father had gone out to check one time, and then Daniel had gone out a second time to check on his own before trying to call Lisa at home, then call the police. Mm-hmm. They go into certain details of what was found at the crime scene. There was a paper bag found with the footwear impression left in blood on it, and among other things. Like I said, the coroner would later return a finding that she was not sexually assaulted, so they thought maybe it had been staged to look like a sexual assault. So basically, they treat Daniel as a suspect, get statements from both him and his parents, canvass the neighborhood, and then they started looking into people that might have known about this get-together that was talked about and supposedly happened. And there was a number of people that were invited to this get-together, and other people that talked about it in front of other people. So they were trying to look at who had knowledge that Lisa would be coming over there that late that night, and then trying to see, well, did anybody have a motive to do harm to her or somebody there? They thought that a brutal stabbing death would have to indicate, a motive of some kind of anger, jealous rage against her, and then through interviewing people, they found out about a young man who was just about to go off to college, who had graduated from Shaker High. He lived a couple blocks away, by the name of Kevinyoung. And Kevinyoung had some problems. He was discarding to a lot of people and might have said some things that people thought were threatening against Daniel and Lisa at one time. So the police investigation quickly started focusing solely on Kevin Young, and he was interviewed within the first 48 hours, along with a number of other witnesses and people who knew about this meeting. And they obtained a search warrant for his house about 48 hours after the crime, before he was about to leave for college the next day. And it didn't find any important evidence in that search. So,
Okay.
and then after that, there begins to build a very, very interesting story uh, involving the case and the media's handling of the case.
And the media spins it quite in a quite awkward direction too. I had alluded
Mm-hmm.
before the break, Michael, that you make reference to a professional wrestler in one way, and that is Brutus the Barber Beefcake. But it's not because
Yes.
it's because of not only one but two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us why? And it has to do with forensic evidence in the case.
Right. Well, what I in James Renner's book, before I really got into the case, there was a small mention, and this was later backed up in multiple official science statements in the case, that her boyfriend Daniel had a fantasy that day of cutting her hair against her will, cutting her hair short in sort of a haircut like he had for some reason, who knows why, and it was confirmed in statements he wanted a friend of his, Kenny Workman, to hold Lisa down because she wouldn't have wanted her haircut. And that's really stuck out to me reading the book, because that certainly seems to me like an act of violence against a person, but it's
Yeah.
also, to me, a reason a sharp object would have been near this young girl. And so that really stood out in my mind as a possible reason she could have been involved in a struggle and had a sharp object near her.
There's
So
there's there's another, and I think we'll leave it for the book, but there's another thing you
mhm,
cite too, and it does have to do with the actual stab wound, and I'll leave that for the
mhm,
book because that's really incriminating too, and I'm surprised as well that that wasn't brought up too.
mhm,
But the way you put them together um,
mhm,
is really fascinating. I went, oh my gosh, and you're right, because if you combine a couple of different things that Brutus does in his repertoire, so to speak. Um, One being a finishing move. There you go. And Michael's holding it up, a sleeper hold on video. He's got a picture of Brutus executing a sleeper hold. The other we'll leave for the book. It's I shook my head and went, "Oh yeah, okay, I got it. I'm picking up what you're putting down here." It was really. I went, "Oh, well, why didn't it hit other investigators right between the eyes?"
well, it's a good question. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of things that we're hiding in plain sight, and I think the choice of the title of the book, In Public Record, it was maybe my fifth choice. I wanted to make it about Lisa and Kevin and what they went through, but it's a very appropriate title. It was one of my ideas, but it's just an astonishing tale of what one person could find in public record if they're asking the right questions and looking at the right places, because all these things were there, but nobody looked at the detail. There were things were kept separate, so it was harder to put the puzzle pieces together. But there are puzzle pieces you can put together in this case, and it's a it's very interesting and astonishing, the puzzle pieces I was able to find.
Yeah, yeah, and it's where one person may get stonewalled, whether it be by circumstances or by knowledge, another
Mhm,
person may pick it up and go, "Well, duh, there it is," right?
mhm, mhm.
Um, oh, go ahead.
And the interest, yeah. So there were things that people saw. I mean, like all these, there's photographs and documents that people saw, and it's been approved and sent out and dispatched into public record, and they didn't fully realize what you could make out of certain documents, certain pictures, and just being able to put the details together. There's a compelling case to be made there.
Very much so. And I see it when I read the book. I mean, you see it, and I'm sure other people will see it too when they read the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'll also feel your frustration when they read the book as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain level of frustration. Again, we won't go into it. I don't want to go into it until people actually read it, because there's a level of frustration there. Without getting too deep into it, I just want you to address in general throughout your career, when it comes to a cold case, and you can only take a cold case so far.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like when you say, you know what, I've taken it, you pick up the ball, you take the ball so far, and you go, you know what, I really think I can nail this one home. I think I can take it over the line. I think I can score a touchdown on this one. I can solve this case. How does it feel when you get to the half-yard line and that's it? That's all the further you can
Yeah,
go.
the word I use, in addition to frustration, the word I often use is disillusionment. So it's very disillusioning and depressing when there's things I've shown to people, to officials, that I wish I could have photographed the reaction on their face, and recorded the things they blurted out, and people see the things that I see, but nothing's been done, and that's the frustrating and disillusioning point of it. Some people don't have the ability to do it, and I think there are a lot of forces obstructing things, and that's very frustrating, and that's kind of my motivation for writing the book. I don't seek attention for myself. I never sought any kind of money in this, but this needs to get out there. And if I can't accomplish anything through, I tried to work through the justice system as, a former police officer who I thought, would have some credibility with officials and whatnot. And I've tried my best through a number of agencies, and it's gotten nowhere. So, I'm also a private citizen. So I think at some time it was time to give this to the public. So,
Michael, I have to.
I,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
uh,
Finish.
yeah, I was just going to say, I originally wanted the book to be called The Poetess and the Painter, or Lisa, Kevin. I wanted it to be about Lisa and Kevin, two kids around my age, and the truth of what happened to both of them. And I think they both deserve to have this truth out there. And that's my motivation for the book.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let,
After going through all the frustrations that I did with the justice system, I'm very appreciative to wildbluepress and to people like you. I've done a few podcasts already, so I'm very appreciative to someone like you in the alternative media who sees this and is very interested in it, and very taken. And the first thing, one of the first things you said to me is about frustration, and you understand, you
right.
obviously understand the frustration. So,
Right. Yeah. And completely, completely.
yeah.
Because I read the book, and the frustration drips off the page. It really does. That's one of the first things that I get.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the second is wanting justice to be done. That's the second thing that I get, is that you really do want justice to be done in this case.
Yeah.
The next question I have would be this for you, Michael. It would simply be, do you feel like, now being a private citizen, do you feel like more former police officers should be getting involved with their local uh, police corps to help solve some of these cold cases, because there are quite a few of them out there. Maybe
Mhm.
this is a good use of retirement. Maybe this is a good way to get involved in the communities and get some of these solved. Because let's face it, I know here, I'm in the Minneapolis area. I know there are a lot of cold cases that need to be solved, and a lot of our police are understaffed, and there's a lot of resources that aren't being doled out to our police, in especially local police.
Mhm.
Um, would it be something that in retirement, maybe that's a good idea?
Yeah, I mean that's a very good thing you brought up. I think there's countless millions of people who in this world who would be happy to lend a hand and assist any good cause in a lot of different areas. And I'm sure there's plenty of people, who love to help out a case like this. And I was hoping I'd just have a silent role in helping bring justice to a cold case, and I could have been very happy to just had a silent role and receive no credit or anything for that, because I'm not looking for credit. But it's a good thing you bring up. Um, One of the things that, at least in the legal arena, that makes it a little harder, you know, outsider people can certainly help. I feel I've helped, but I don't have an inside track into the justice system, as far as working with a prosecutor or doing the inside legal things and that's one of the frustrations in this case. And that's why I've brought it out and gone around. That was a big step too for me, and finally admitting I had to work around people instead of with people. So in this case, that's difficult. But yeah, in a lot of cases, there could be a lot of resources outside, people willing to. Uh, there's thousands, millions of people that probably would be happy to help any sort of good cause out there. So what you bring up is an important point.
I'll end with this. Um, I won't say who said it in the book, but there's a line in the book that somebody says to you. And I want to get your opinion on this. This person says to you, they should have never let you through that door. And I'm paraphrasing. Is it because you did the right thing and you stirred up good trouble and you brought this case forward with new information that could have potentially blown the doors open and brought light to justice and potentially solved this thing and even shown light on corruption? Or is it because you just made work for somebody that they didn't want?
That I may work for somebody they didn't.
Yeah, that they didn't want.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I do. There was a couple statements. I didn't know which statement you were going to say. Yeah, that statement is definitely was an interesting statement I heard, and it was hard to believe who it came from. And I think that statement was made because I'm the first person in 30 years since Kevin Young's trial to come around and start hitting nails on the head. And I think that's why that statement was made.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
I didn't get that that line was because you came forward and threw a bunch of information forward that was inaccurate. I didn't get that that was why that line was said to you.
No, that person shouldn't have wanted to waste 10 seconds of their time with me unless I was the first person in 30 years to start hitting nails on the head.
Right. Right.
So that's my feeling on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Name of the book is In Public Record, A Journey to the Truth of a Murder and Trial. Michael Kelly, boy, you've got a great book here. And again, I encourage people to look into this book, to go get this book. It's put up by wildbluepress and see exactly what it takes to try and reopen a cold case. A lot of people think this is easy, that this is easy stuff, that we should just be solving these cases left and right, and that we should be getting justice for people. It's not that simple, is it?
Right. I'll just add one more thing. Is from what I've heard from a source is that it is reopened.
Oh, good.
But well, let me add the caveat that in an open investigation, they're not going to allow public records requests on certain things.
Okay.
That's just food for thought there.
Okay. All right. Well, again, folks, I encourage you to find out what it is that Michael's talking about. Go get this book, In Public Record, A Journey to the Truth of a Murder and Trial. Such a good book, folks. Michael Kelly is our guest. Michael, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, Tim. I really appreciate it, and on behalf of this case, and I've enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, my friend. Folks, let's lighten things up a little bit. Let's bring in Jessica Freeburg. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals.
It's crime news story time.
What happened with this dude, Christ Bearer? I heard he cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony.
Suspect pulls gun from butt, shoots twice at Denver police.
What is your emergency?
I need help.
And what's the problem?
I'm too high.
You're too high?
Yeah.
It's that time again, the time you've all been looking forward to. It's time for Dumb Crimes, Stupid Criminals. And with that, I reach across the Twin Cities. I reach out for my co-hostess. She's known as the Eater of World, Destroyer of Charts. And as Binder over at the Hindustan Times would say, the dominatrix of his world, because she's pretty much consumed every last moment of his waking world. He's not seen his children in quite some time, I guess. I don't know if you've heard about his children, Ishramish Tool and Little Binder Jr., but yeah, they have needs too, Jess, I guess. By the way, here's Jessica Freeburg. Hi, Jess.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
Oh, I'm giggling at being called a dominatrix.
We won't let too many of our listeners who are infatuated with you know about that, but but there's that.
Don't tell anyone.
I won't. I'll keep that between us, just us and a few,
Not and everyone.
few tens of thousands of people who just heard that.
Oh gosh.
By the way,
Sorry, I just sniffled.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We're both playing hurt today. So Jess is playing injured today. We appreciate it. She should be on the IR, but she's playing injured. She's got the remnants of the bubonic
scourge.
plague. Yeah. The bubonic
I'm
plague.
usually really good about muting myself. I don't know why. I just like sucked in a big breath of snot right into my microphone, so I apologize.
Just like that. But that's hot.
We went from dominatrix to disgusting in like 2 seconds.
Hey, that's a good moniker, the disgusting dominatrix.
Oh, I think I could go big with that.
You could, yeah. Go big or go home, kid. And then I myself, if you're watching the video, look like Uncle Fester today. I'm a little too pale, and I look like someone has socked me in both eyes.
Like I told you not to sass me, but
well, I know, but hey, I paid extra for it, so you know, that's what I do. You know, I dream vacation, go to Thailand, and get beaten up like a cheap thug
by a girl.
By a girl, that's right. Well, that's the only way to go. I mean, it's no fun to get beat up by a guy, is it?
No, not nearly.
Not nearly. By a scantily clad woman. That's how I want to go out. I want to get beat up by a scantily clad woman. I've said too much. It's time. By the way, we have a lengthy not safe for work category today.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
Although our palate cleanser is very, very, it's very safe today. In fact, I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I have that to look forward to.
It's very much a safe for work palate cleanser. It's very prairie home companion.
Oh, I love it already.
Yeah. See, sometimes I can clean this whole thing up.
That's right. Hang in there with us, friends. We'll get to the nice stuff at the end.
That's right. Eventually, you can bring your kids to the show. Although, why you would have your kids listen to a true crime show, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Let's
Each their own.
Let's start it out with this today, Jess. It's going to start off a little rough. You know what we are going to talk about? We're going to talk about first why Minnesota is the new Florida.
Oh no. Do we have Minnesota Man now?
We do have Minnesota Man now. Did you hear about who tried to spring Luigi Mangione this week?
Oh my gosh, I did. And he had like a pizza cutter. It was so weird.
Yeah, a pizza cutter and like a barbecue fork. What is wrong with us now here in the north? Does it get too cold? Like it gets too hot and steamy in Florida? What is wrong with us?
Such a weird escape from prison kit.
It is. A man allegedly showed up to a New York City jail with a court order, which is just a piece of paper to release Luigi Mangione. Now he's charged with impersonating an FBI agent. He didn't even do a good job while doing it. Was
it like written on lined paper and in pencil or crayon?
Yeah, in crayon, and then like a few of the letters were backwards. Please, Pleez, please let Luigi, Weege, go. Yeah, it's pretty much what it said. A man showed up to a New York City jail this week claiming to wield a court order to release Luigi Mangione, the suspect charged with murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Now the man is facing charges of his own for allegedly impersonating an FBI agent. Federal prosecutors unveiled the charges Thursday against Mark Anderson, who's all of 36 years old, who they allege went to Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, which, by the way, is the same place that housed Diddy at one time. So,
all the cool guys get to go there.
That's right. They all get together there, and it's kind of the Guantanamo Bay of Brooklyn. So, he went there on the evening of Wednesday, January 28th, claiming to be a federal agent with an order to release the 27-year-old murder suspect. When asked for credentials by the Bureau of Prison staff, Anderson, who is a resident of Mankato, Minnesota. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Mankato, Minnesota is also, how should we put this, is kind of nefarious for different reasons. Mankato, Minnesota, a long time ago, was also the site of a Hardee's that got hit by a Minnesota Viking named Keith Millard. There was a Hardee's there in Mankato where Keith Millard literally drove into the drive-through drunk. Like he drove into the building. There are other fun things that happened in Mankato, but that's where the Minnesota Vikings used to do their summer training camp. So, of course, there was all kinds of drunken shenanigans that happened in Mankato.
Of course. Yeah. They have a really cool, like, carousel in their mall with, like, I used to take the kids to ride.
Oh, yeah?
So it's inside, yeah.
Well, see, you have happy memories. Mankato is being, like, terrorized every summer by the Minnesota Vikings. You've got this nice memory of Mankato.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Anderson is a resident of Mankato. Maybe that's what turned him crazy, was the Minnesota Vikings, the drunken Vikings.
It could be. That could do it to you.
Anderson allegedly showed them a Minnesota driver's license. When they asked him for ID, he said, "I'm an FBI agent. Here, there. Hey, here's my Minnesota license right here.
Check out my real ID.
My real ID. See, it says real across it right here." And then claimed he had weapons in his bag, according to a newly unsealed complaint. Sealed. Love how I said that. Anderson was detained after allegedly throwing documents at BOP staff. Per the complaint, You'll laugh when you see the documents, too. Inside his bag were a barbecue fork and a rounded blade that resembled a pizza cutter. Now, there's
Just so weird.
a reason he had that pizza cutter, though, Jess.
What's he going to do with it?
Well, it turns out it ties into a job he's recently had there in Brooklyn.
Oh, did he work at a pizzeria?
You got it.
Oh, that makes sense.
He might have just come off the job. A law enforcement source tells people that Anderson had recently been working at a pizzeria.
Huh.
Hence, tools of the job.
They just happened to be in his pocket.
Yeah. See, if you look at it, they have a picture here of his license, and if you notice, that's not your typical pizza cutter. That is an industrial pizza cutter.
Yeah, that's a fancy one.
Yeah. So, that's one of those ones that doesn't have that handle like you typically have at home. That's one of the ones that's got the grippy that you just,
Probably a little better for like preventing carpal tunnel if you're cutting pizzas all day.
That's all right.
Ergonomical or something.
Very nice. Ergonomical. I like that. Anderson's also set to be arraigned in federal court. The unsealed complaint does not specify the name of the inmate that Anderson sought to be free, but the law enforcement source claimed that it was Mangione. No court has ordered the release of Mangione, who is accused of gunning down Thompson outside a Midtown Manhattan hotel hosting an investors conference early in the morning of December 4th, 2024. It's hard to believe it's been over a year already. In fact, the federal government still hopes to seek the death penalty against Mangione. This past month, Judge Margaret Garnett of the Southern District of New York said she'd like his trial to begin in January of 2027 if the death penalty remains on the table. Should capital punishment be ruled out, Garnett wants Mangione's trial to start on October 13th of this year. He is due back in federal court this week for a status conference. So there you go. By the way, Mangione is also facing a parallel New York State prosecution on second-degree murder charges. This week, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office sent a letter to the judge overseeing the case, Greg Caro, requesting a July 1st start date for the state trial. However, he will not be sprung by any pizza delivery people. So he'll still face that. That'll go on.
Yeah. I wonder if he knew the guy was coming. Like that was his like pizza delivery order. Like he just put it in the app or something.
Yeah, he ordered off the app on a prison computer and said, I just hope they'll spring me at the same time they bring my pizza.
I'll take one jailbreak, please.
I wonder if that's the name of a pizza, like at Papa John's or something. I wonder what the preferred pizza of inmates everywhere is.
You think they get pizza?
They can't get pizza, no.
I wouldn't think so. That's like a comfort food.
Yeah.
You get like instant mashed potatoes and corn out of a can.
Yeah. I only know from my weekend in maximum security in Winona that yeah, they do catering because they don't make their food locally, but it comes from a certain place. Yeah. And it's not Domino's. No.
It's not made to order.
No, I can tell you that much. Our next story has to do with a man who is wanted for allegedly holding a woman hostage and biting part of her face off.
What?
Yeah, we're just going extreme for the next story.
Oh.
We got one or two extreme stories, and then we're working our way back. Yeah. A woman remains hospitalized following a violent domestic incident in which a man allegedly bit part of her face off. Ow.
Yikes. Not just bit her face, bit it off.
Off. Yeah. Like violently. According to I believe this is the Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office, 31-year-old Brandon Patrick is wanted in connection with Tuesday's attack, which investigators say stemmed from a dispute that began over the weekend. Officials said the victim was held against her will for days, and the injury occurred when she tried to escape. According to the sheriff's office, Patrick is a convicted felon with known gang affiliations. I bet you whatever you call it when you get affiliated in, when you normally they pound you in or they beat you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. He must have got bit in. Um, yeah, they're, they bite him in. Yeah.
Take a bite.
Yeah, they take a bite out of crime. That whole
Oh
rough
gosh.
thing. Yeah.
It was like 1985.
Yeah. I know I'm dating myself there, but if I
That's
don't
all
date
right.
myself, nobody else will. According to the sheriff's office, Patrick is a convicted felon with known gang affiliations. He faces charges of domestic abuse battery with serious bodily injury and false imprisonment with additional charges possible. Patrick should be considered armed and dangerous. He does not have a vehicle. Of course he doesn't. And may attempt to get rides from strangers. That trick might have worked in the 80s as well, but I don't think it works as well these days. Patrick is an identical twin, but
Ooh, lucky. There's two of them.
this explains a lot. I bet you he tried to eat his twin in the womb, and that's why he's biting this day.
That could be. Or the other way around. Maybe his twin tried to eat him and he's like PTSD and he's like all aggressive about it.
And he's trying to bite back?
Yeah, trying to bite back.
Probably. He also has several distinguishing features, including an old stab wound on his right hand, a half-sleeve tattoo of a house and a scroll on his left arm, and a full-sleeve tattoo on his right arm, according to deputies. By the way, he's still on the loose. So if you have information...
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he's loose, ladies, and ready to bite.
Oh, gosh. And he might have a little, piece of cheek stuck between his teeth.
Oh, God. Which cheek? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, that
Yeah.
poor lady. Yeah.
Yeah, well, some people are into that. If you have information on his whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Tangapahoa Parish Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division at 985-902-2088. Your tips can also be submitted anonymously through Crime Stoppers at 1-800-554-5245 or online at tangacrimestoppers.com. Go take a bite out of crime, kids. Go catch them.
But not literally. We did not tell you to bite someone's face off.
Literally. Well, Valentine's Day is coming up, Jess.
Yes.
For some people, it's a great holiday.
For others, it's just disappointing.
That's right. For other people, they tend to hide.
Yeah.
It's not such a great holiday. You're right. For this guy, not such a great holiday. Last Valentine's Day was memorable, but not for the reason you'd think. A man killed his wife after a failed Valentine's Day plans.
Wow.
He blamed a man he suspected was her lover and said it was her fault.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever thought you had a bad Valentine's Day, just know someone out there had it way worse.
That's right. Taylor Meyer was found guilty of the February 14th, 2025 murder of Deborah Meyer following a 6-day trial. An Indiana man has been convicted in the February 2025 murder of his wife following what he said was a failed Valentine's Day plan and a suspected affair. 35-year-old Taylor Meyer was charged days after his wife was killed in Jeffersonville, Indiana on February 14th of last year, according to online court records. 36-year-old Deborah Meyer was not named in the online court information, but has been identified in a probable cause affidavit previously cited by several local news outlets, as well as an online obituary. According to the affidavit, Taylor admitted to police that he killed Deborah, complaining about having gone all out for Valentine's Day and a celebration, but not feeling appreciated by her as she appeared ungrateful, I guess, according to 3 different news outlets.
So he freaking killed her?
So he killed her. Yeah, she was ungrateful.
Wow.
That ungrateful bitch.
Yikes. That is some serious aggression over not getting the response that you want.
Right? I mean, just what happened to, hey, baby, how come you're not feeling more grateful about this instead of, He went from 0 to 100, like.
Yeah, like, I want to make this day so special for you. Oh, you don't love it? I'm going to murder you.
That's That's turning that switch real quick, you know? Deborah briefly left home for 20 minutes that evening. And upon her return, 20 minutes. What can you get done? And by the way, if you can get it done in 20 minutes, that other guy is nothing special.
I was going to say that is not enough time for a fling.
Right, right. And upon her return, the couple got into an altercation when she refused to let him go through her phone, according to the affidavit. Taylor alleged she punched him before he choked her and stabbed her 40 times in the chest.
What?
It took him more time to stab her in the chest than it took her to leave and come back.
Oh my gosh, that's literally crazy.
As he was attacking her, he called the man he suspected was Deborah's lover and had a chilling message for him. It's your fault. You want to ruin my marriage and tear my family apart. According to the affidavit. He then took photos showing Deborah lying on the ground unconscious and allegedly shared them in her family group chat, claiming he had killed her.
No.
Yes.
What a psycho.
Yeah. He shared the photos and the message with her friends as well.
Holy cow.
Jess, how would you like to find out your best friend just died by her husband's hand in a chat message?
Yeah, and it had to have been bloody. She was stabbed 40 something times.
40 times. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, to add to the sadness of this whole story, Deborah is an award-winning nurse, according to her obituary. She was a mom to 3 kids, but it wasn't immediately clear if Taylor is their father. Let's hope not.
Yeah, really. I hope they have someone left.
Right. She was humorously remembered for her inappropriate shenanigans, per her obituary. Deborah's fierce, unforgettable presence leaves a lasting impression on her contagious laughter, bright smile, limitless love, and unwavering loyalty. It read in part, she was strong-willed, full of life, and unapologetically herself. Taylor had pleaded not guilty to murder, online court records show. How do you plead not guilty to that?
Yeah, after you sent all those text messages. Oh my God, he's crazy.
I think that's a slam dunk. He was convicted, by the way, on Thursday, January 29th, after a jury deliberated for 2 hours following a 6-day trial. His sentencing has been scheduled for February 20th. I somehow don't think he's going to be celebrating Valentine's Day.
No, not outside of bars.
No, although someone's going to be celebrating it with him behind bars.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that
he
much.
might be someone's Valentine, but he won't be very happy about it.
You better put on a wig and some lipstick because he's going to get reviewed. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. All right. This next story involves a woman who is accused of firing at her husband after plotting to kill him. So happy Valentine's Day part. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Can you tell I'm getting ready for the holiday?
Anything's going to be better than what you're sharing with us. So we're all going to have a great Valentine's Day.
That's right. It can only get better, right?
Yes.
A Martinsburg, we're going to Pennsylvania, by the way, Blair County, Pennsylvania. A Martinsburg woman is accused of firing multiple gunshots at her husband after allegedly plotting to kill him following a domestic dispute. That, according to a police affidavit filed in Blair County. Police say Heather Crawford was taken into custody Monday evening after her husband went to the Martinsburg Borough Police Department around 5:17 p.m. to report that she had fired at him behind their home on Woodlawn Avenue near the garage. Officers from multiple agencies responded, and Crawford was arrested without incident after directing police to a .380 caliber Ruger LCP pistol found under a kitchen mat inside the home. Wouldn't that leave a bump? I mean, if you've got a mat with a .380 Luger, just...
I feel like it's not a very good hiding place. There has to be better places you can hide it.
Yeah, in the washer or dryer. Just for starters.
Just in a cupboard, maybe, like stuck in a drawer. I don't know.
Cookie jar.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. I'd never look in the cookie jar for a gun.
Right. According to the affidavit of probable cause, Crawford told police she intended to kill her husband, stating the plan began After a heated argument late Sunday night, police allege Crawford attempted to lure her husband into the garage to ambush him and fired one round through the garage door as he fled, then fired a second round as he ran toward the house. One bullet struck the jacket he was wearing, shearing the zipper and passing across the front of the garment without causing any injury.
Oh, what a lucky guy.
Somebody loves that man. We'll just put it that way. Investigators executed a search warrant at the residence later Monday night, collecting 2 spent .380 ACP shell casings and photographing damage to the garage door consistent with gunfire. When asked why she attempted to kill her husband, Crawford told police he was evil and had to die. Well,
yeah. Oh, I guess. I mean, we've all felt that way, right?
sure.
No,
No.
never.
Yeah. The case was investigated by Martinsburg Borough Police with assistance from Roaring Spring, North Woodbury, and Freedom Township Police, who probably all took one look at that zipper and went, "You gotta be effing kidding me, really?" Boy,
They're like, go buy a lottery ticket right now.
right. I mean, how do you get that close to checking out? Woo!
Boy, get some guardian angels around you.
Telling you. My, oh my. All right, you think that's lucky? I got another lucky story for you. You ready for this one, Jess?
Yes.
All right. A mom is arrested. Mother of the year, by the way. You think, anytime you may think, I'm not doing my job as a mom, I really don't think it. I'm mother of the
You always make me feel better, Tim.
You ready for this? You, Jess, are mother of the year. Are you ready for this? Mom is arrested after a 19-month-old baby flies out of a car onto the road in the middle of an intersection and miraculously survives.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Can't do anything wrong, my friend.
Oh, poor baby.
There's video of this moment, by the way, that an infant flew out of the front seat of the moving vehicle and narrowly avoided being run over the intersection.
It's funny, but it's not.
Right. A California woman has been arrested after video footage showed her infant flying from a moving vehicle and narrowly avoiding being run over by her SUV rather. 35-year-old Jacqueline Hernandez of La Habra was arrested on suspicion of felony child abuse after her 19-month-old fell from the passenger side of a moving vehicle, according to the Fullerton Police Department.
Just absorbing this into my brain, trying to figure out like just the logistics of it. Like, how does that even happen?
I'm going to post this video so you guys can see this. It's a little too hard to believe. Authorities believe the incident, which happened at the intersection of North Euclid Street and West Malvern Avenue, occurred on January 20th between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. local time. This happened in the morning.
Huh.
Police did not receive reports on the incident until a witness came forward on January 24th and reported seeing what happened. In the video, as a black SUV enters the intersection and completes a turn, the front passenger door swings open and a small child falls to the ground and into the roadway.
Oh my goodness.
The kid isn't buckled in.
It's not in an infant seat. It's not even in a seatbelt. It's just sitting up there. Oh my goodness.
Tumbles out like firewood in the front seat.
Huh.
Yeah. The video appears to show the child nearly being run over before the driver abruptly stops, jumps out of the vehicle, picks the child up, and runs back to the driver's seat and drives away. Just loads him back into the seat and dun, dun, dun. Like you spilled a gallon of milk out on the roadway.
Yeah, like it's just, like a piece of garbage or something that fell out of your car. Like,
yeah, like,
you think she took it to the doctor? Like, it could have a concussion or something. That's crazy. Broken bones.
Like, oops, I spilled my McDonald's out on the highway. Let me put that bag and throw it back in.
Yeah.
In addition to almost being run over by the car they were in, a light-colored car driving behind the black SUV almost hit the child after the mother narrowly missed. It was almost a twofer.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of guardian angels, at least there was someone watching over that poor baby.
Right. The driver of the second car slammed on the brakes while a yellow car behind it swerved to not hit the other cars. There's a threefer.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I'm going to post the video to this. You guys aren't going to believe this. The witness was able to provide identifying information related to the vehicle involved. Officers conducted a follow-up investigation, which led them to a residence in the city of La Habra. Officers located the vehicle, the child, and the female involved in the incident seen in the video. Police added that the baby sustained injuries consistent with the fall and was transported to an area hospital for treatment, but is expected to make a full recovery. So thank God for that.
Yeah, that's the bright side of this whole terrible story.
That's right. It's not immediately known if Hernandez has retained an attorney. I would think she'd want to.
If she was smart, she should, but she may not be very bright, Tim.
Right. Under California law, children under 2 years of age shall ride in a rear-facing car seat unless the child is 40 pounds or under, or 40 pounds or more, or is 40 or more inches tall. The child shall be secured in a manner that complies with the height and weight limits specified by the manufacturer of the car seat. California Highway Patrol site reads, a rear-facing seat should also never be placed in the front of an active airbag. Children must also be seated in the back seat of a car until age 8, according to California law. So there's no reason that kid should have been in the front seat.
No, I barely wanted to let my girls sit in the front seat when they were like full grown because they're so tiny. Like the airbag could decapitate you.
Right. Yeah, no, it can. It can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jess, we have an update on the Florida Chuck E. Cheese bandit.
Oh, good.
I know you've been anxiously awaiting.
I haven't been able to sleep, Tim. Tell me what's going on.
I know you've texted me week in and week out. What's going on with Chucky? And I said, well, I think in jail, Jess, Chucky's in love. Remember the song?
Ooh, yes.
So Chucky got a plea deal in his felony case.
Oh, that's good.
Chucky's playing out. Chuck E. Cheese copped to criminal charges that last year resulted in his handcuffed perp walk out of a Florida restaurant in full view of several bewildered children. The worst part of this whole deal, if you remember right, is they took the head off of Chucky before they put him. Yeah. So there were several children around at the time that saw Chucky's head come off. And it was like,
so much trauma. So much trauma.
So much trauma. And the guy wasn't the best looking guy in the world. So, I mean, it's one thing when you take the head off and it's like David Beckham, in the in the Chuck E. Cheese costume, but this was like 42-year-old Jermel Jones.
Oh, goodness. Well, if they're making their living in a Chuck E. Cheese costume as a grown adult, they might be struggling a little bit.
Thank you for clarifying, because I was that teenager in the Chuck E. Cheese costume. So,
teenager, that makes sense,
Yeah.
If you're in your mid-40s, I don't know. I mean, God bless you. I'm glad you're working, but stay away from my kids.
Well, maybe it's a part-time. Maybe it's a part-time job, right? I mean, Cheese, also known as, again, 42-year-old Jermel Jones, pleaded no contest to 2 felony charges in connection with his theft of a Visa debit card belonging to a female customer. The woman told cops she was a Chuck E. Cheese regular. Do they have frequent flyer miles or punch cards or anything for regulars?
I bet they do. I mean,
rewards cards?
There's people with like just the long string of tickets and they're saving up for the big prize.
Do they still do tickets at Chuck E. Cheese? I haven't been in one in years.
Oh, I haven't been in forever either, but I don't know. We should go and find out.
So, by the way, I was skee ball champ of Chuck E. Cheese for the longest time. I can show you how on the skee ball how to hit 50 every time.
Ooh, we do need to go to Chuck E. Cheese. That would be fun.
I can show you. And by the way, that her plastic was missing after her child's birthday party at the Tallahassee business. Jones cops charged used the stolen card for purchases at smoke shops, Circle K grocery stores, and a Whataburger. So he had a little bit of fun with that card. During a circuit court hearing, Jones pleaded to a pair of felonies and 1 misdemeanor as part of a deal with prosecutors While the felonies each carried a maximum 5-year prison term and the misdemeanor could have resulted in 364 days in the county jail, Jones has avoided a custodial term. As part of his plea bargain, Jones was sentenced to 3 years probation and ordered to pay about $1,600 in court costs and fees. Judges ordered him to have no contact with the victim and to stay away from the Chuck E. Cheese where he was once employed. In other words, he can't dress up as Chucky anymore.
Aw, you can, but it would be really weird.
It'd be odd, right? I mean, you could have a Chucky fetish, but
Yeah, there's just Chucky walking down the street, walking his dog.
Yeah.
Chucky at Target.
Chucky at Target
Chucky putting gas in his car.
for a new shirt for over the costume. Yeah. Well, I mean, we all have our fetishes, I guess.
Chuck E. Cheese outside of Chuck E. Cheese would be really, really discombobulating.
This to me is still the funniest photo I think I've ever seen.
Oh my God. His head's on.
I know there the head is on, but yeah, it's still one of the funniest photos I think.
That's even funnier.
Yeah, when Chucky handcuffed with the head on.
You suppose the cops were like, hold on, we got to put the head back on you. Photo op. We need to
Photo
put
op.
this on our Facebook page.
You think corporate didn't just hang dog for weeks after that?
Oh man.
We're never going to get this out of the corporate, the corporate image.
You think they tagged Chuck E. Cheese when they put it on Facebook?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Charles E. Cheese.
Oh gosh.
Convict. Maybe it should be Convict E. Cheese.
That could work.
Yeah. I mean, you never see Mickey Mouse getting in trouble like that.
No, not usually.
No.
He's a good boy.
You don't see Mickey stealing debit cards. running up charges. Going nuts over there at the concession stands.
He doesn't need to. He has the whole Disneyland, Disney World. Like he's rich. Doesn't need to steal anything.
Yeah, but he could take a debit card, go over there to House of Blues, start drinking it up.
He's the high class mouse in the costume.
Tell me about it. I mean, Chucky could. I'm sorry about that. I just popped both my elbows. He could. I'm getting old.
We're wrecked.
He could. Mickey could steal your black card. Go over there to one of the like the sports club resort and just go nuts with a weekend of gambling.
He could.
Then it's all over. You
feel like Mickey would have his own black card and he would have all the ladies like just dripping off him when he goes.
Can you imagine a Disney themed strip club?
People would go. It's all the Disney princesses like getting down and dirty.
What do you call it? Goofy's Gals Club? I mean, it's horrible. The Princess Palace. What do you Disney?
So many options. And look at us. We're just further proving we could ruin anything.
We can. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although that'd be kind of fun. Disney strip club. You could never get your childhood back at the Disney strip club. That's
the motto.
You can never get your childhood back at the Disney strip club. All right, let's move on. Because it's not safe for work time yet.
That's right. It's not.
That's right. Although you'll never look at French fries the same again after this next story. We're getting into
don't ruin French fries for me. They're like my favorite food.
We're getting into our food section now, Jess.
Oh, I'm gonna be mad at you.
I'm sorry. How far would you go for French fries, by the way?
I mean, like physically, how far would I drive for great French fries?
Not how far would you drive. What would you do to get them?
I mean, I would pay like $4 for them.
You'd pay $4 for them. Would you shoot somebody in the head for them?
No.
Well, this guy did.
Wow.
Yeah.
He really likes French fries even more than I do.
Yes, right. A man died in a shooting after refusing to my God. Man was killed after he was shot in the head during an argument over French fries, according to Fort Worth police. We go to Texas, where Fort Worth police responded to a shooting around 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday to an apartment complex in the 9500 block of Jeremiah Drive. The apartment said in a press release. When officers arrived on the scene, they found an adult man with a gunshot wound to his head. Fort Worth Emergency Services transported the victim to the hospital, where he died several hours later. Detectives learned that the incident started as an argument between friends. You can't be that good of friends if you're shooting each other in the head over French fries. I'll tell you that much.
I would think not.
The argument began over an order of French fries that the victim did not want to share with the suspect. The verbal argument between the victim and the suspect escalated into a shooting. The suspect left the scene after the shooting. Multiple witnesses identified the shooter. The suspect is known to live in the same apartment complex. You're not going far if you shoot somebody in the head over French fries, and then you just go to the next apartment over. I mean, it's not going to work that way.
The whole thing is just crazy.
It is. Police did not immediately find the suspect. He's in the next building and are actively searching for them. The release states the Tarrant County Medical Examiner will identify the victim and declare the cause of death. It says here, so it's still ongoing. This story is very confusing. It happened in the same building. It's localized. Not much detective work to do here, but evidently.
They still haven't found him.
No.
They haven't found the right apartment.
I think they're flabbergasted that this happened over French fries.
I hope there was some sort of drugs involved. Like, there has to be a bigger reason why he lost his mind and shot someone in the head over French fries, like meth, or he's just whacked out on crack.
Stoners don't shoot each other over French fries.
No, not like a peaceful marijuana smoker. They would just be like, okay, I'll go get some Cheetos.
They're like, man, here, just take some.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, there's not much fighting over food between stoners. Another fascination. I mean, as I sit here drinking a soda, I think to myself, would I murder somebody over my Sprecher cherry cola?
Would ya?
No.
No?
No. You know why?
The good news is we wouldn't kill people over the things that we love.
No, it's America. They make more. I can go to the store and get more. But apparently, 47-year-old Brian Champagne, nice last name, by the way.
Yeah.
If I ever have to change my last name, I'm changing it to Champagne.
It's fancy.
Yeah, Timmy Champagne.
That should have been your radio name. That's so cool.
Timmy Champagne. Timmy Champagne live on the air, going door to door, post to post. It's top 40 radio. Yeah, you could do the puker voice. You could. Timmy Champagne, 35 degrees in the Twin Cities. We got Led Zeppelin. We got Rolling Stones. We got much rock and roll going on. Yeah, you could do the puker thing for hours. Timmy Champagne. Although Timmy Champagne isn't a rock and roll name. That's more of a Timmy Champagne.
It's like a pinky up name.
That's an NPR classical voice.
There you go. Yes.
Timmy Champagne, like Mozart on NPR.
Yeah, I feel like the puker voice, you need to be like Timmy Schlitz or whatever the worst kind of beer is.
Timmy Schlitz. Timmy Daniels. That's right. Timmy Daniels. You want a
Timmy
shot?
Whiskey.
Shot of Timmy Daniels coming at you. No, that's very much a Minnesota Public Radio voice. Timmy Champagne.
He's very fancy. Mm-hmm.
Counting down to midnight with Mozart and Beethoven on Minnesota Public Radio. I saw one of my old cohorts from Minnesota Public Radio at the grocery store this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Hey, he jumped out.
Chat him up?
I did. I chatted him up. He jumped out in front of me, damn near ran me over.
Gosh. He was excited to see you.
He was excited to see me. That was good. It was good to see him. So, hi, Cliff, if you're listening. There you go. was his birthday this past weekend, so it was good to see him.
Oh, happy birthday, Cliff.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cliff. Brian Champagne. Let's get back to Brian Champagne. He was arrested for threatening murder after being denied a Pepsi.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why. Eventually, I'll tie this all into why
It doesn't take much to set people off, does it?
it doesn't. Okay, so here's the deal, Jess. Okay, so I get being excited about Coke, right? I might murder somebody for my Coke. Pepsi? Really?
Hey, some people prefer Pepsi over Coke.
Yeah. Really?
Not at our house, but I mean, someone must. Why is it out there then if someone doesn't love it?
Pepsi's kind of like kissing your sister. It's
Ew.
just not like taking your cousin to prom. It's what are you going to do at the end of the night? Shake hands and agree to go your separate ways? What is Pepsi? Pepsi is yeah, it's Pepsi. It's your
Yeah,
second choice, it's your consolation prize. It's the lower shelf at the fair when you don't win the game. That's what Pepsi
right.
is, right?
I agree. It's not my favorite.
But evidently Brian Champagne wanted to kill for it. It's not the champagne of sodas. I know that much. But he was
To that guy.
It is to that guy. He was arrested in Seymour, Missouri for attempting to enter a bedroom and harassing a woman while demanding Pepsi.
How weird.
Okay, if you're going to break into a woman's bedroom, the last thing you should be demanding is Pepsi. Right.
I mean, I suppose I'd be relieved. Like all he wants is a Pepsi and he just broke in my bedroom. Well, okay.
Right. That's it. You want a Pepsi? Let me go find it. Okay. So Brian Champagne, not exactly looking like the champagne of burglars, but let's take a look at him anyways. A U.S. man's aggressive pursuit of a soda has led to an arrest after he allegedly tried to barge into a woman's bedroom while demanding a Pepsi. He's identified as 47-year-old Brian Champagne. The Seymour, Missouri resident also reportedly threatened the victim's son during the confrontation, which was recorded on video. He now faces first-degree stalking charges in Wright County. The victim called police just before 7:30 p.m. local time this past Wednesday, asking for help, according to a report in U.S. Weekly. After the officers arrived, they tried talking to Champagne, who was described as uncooperative and argumentative. He kept asking the police why they were being so rude to him and why she was being treated as a criminal. Why she was being treated as a criminal.
Wait, she's the victim.
Right. The victim said Champagne tried fighting her son, but there was no contact as she separated the two men. The woman said she had video proof of Champagne trying to enter her bedroom. The clip shows Champagne demanding the soft drink while stating he was going to beat the boy's head in and kill him. Boy, that's really, really aggressive for a Pepsi, don't you think?
A little bit.
A little bit. After the alleged confrontation, Champagne, as well as the victim and her son, went back to separate areas of the home. So they ring a bell and then boom, they all go to their separate corners. Evidently, or eventually, the victim said that she allowed Champagne's mother to enter her room to retrieve the refreshing Pepsi. Do they live together? Is this the deal?
I think they must.
It remains unclear from the court documents how Champagne and the victim knew each other or why they were seemingly sharing a residence.
This is the most Missouri story you've ever read to me.
It is, yeah, isn't it? The statement did not indicate how old the victim's son is and did not explain why Champagne's mother was present. Yeah, how does she get in the story? Champagne is in the Wright County Jail with only a $5,000 bond and a hearing scheduled for today as we tape this.
What a weird one.
Yeah, bizarre story. That's for sure. If you think that story's bizarre, Jess, it just keeps getting weirder as we lead up to Not Safe for Work, which is going to get bizarre. It's all getting more and more bizarre today.
Good. I love weird.
Okay, good. Then you're going to love this story. We're going to Florida. I feel like we've avoided Florida for a good majority of the
Yeah, we really have. We've
Yeah.
been kind of all over the Midwest.
I'm kind of proud of myself for that. I'm going to pat myself.
Yeah.
But we're going to Florida for this one, where two Florida men are accused of killing a tarpon after breaking into an aquarium to go fishing. I want you to think about this headline for a second. I'm going to reread it. Two Florida men are accused of killing a tarpon after breaking into an aquarium to go fishing. Keep this in mind, kids. Florida is a state where generally all year round you can go outside and go fishing. What the are they doing fishing in an
Yeah.
aquarium?
Yeah, those fish are supposed to be safe.
You would think, right? In an aquarium?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show you a little picture of these two geniuses who decided going fishing in an aquarium was a good idea. Tell me that isn't your quintessential Florida man right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, those are the guys I was looking for when I was in Florida, but I didn't see them.
Didn't see him, did you?
I was looking everywhere.
You know why? They were fishing in an aquarium.
I guess.
Yeah. Police arrested a second suspect this past week over a break-in at a Florida Keys aquarium that led to the death of a large tarpon. Security camera footage from May 25th of last year showed two men entering Florida Keys aquarium encounters just after 3 a.m. and unlawfully fishing in the facility's private lagoon. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. The video reportedly captured the pair catching a tarpon estimated at 55 inches and holding it out of the water for roughly 5 minutes to pose for photos. Of course, because they were proud to have caught this tarpon that was so elusively getting away from them in an aquarium. Afterward, they returned the fish to the lagoon, but aquarium staff discovered it dead the next morning. Why? Because they were holding it out of the water for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's sad.
Geniuses. The suspects were later identified as genius number one, 25-year-old Derek Lee Vivian of Fort Myers, and genius number two, 20-year-old Christopher Jeffrey Smith of Marathon. Vivian was arrested on November 5th, and Smith was booked into jail on Wednesday. Bond is set at $27,000 for both men. It's not nearly enough money.
No, I don't think so.
That's for sure. Both men have been charged with burglary and illegally removing a tarpon greater than 40 inches from the water. The latter charge, a misdemeanor, is punishable for a first-time offense by up to 60 days in jail and a $500 fine. Again, not enough money or time. The sheriff's office told The Independent that no exercises were conducted to determine the pair's possible intoxication at the time of the break-in, since they were identified and arrested after the incident. Tarpon are prized mainly as catch-and-release sport fish and are not usually eaten because they have tough, bony meat. That's what she said. However, tarpon populations have declined significantly over the last 50 years. Aaron Adams, the director of science and conservation at the Bonefish and Tarpon Trust, told that to Garden and Gun in 2023. I somehow think Garden and Gun is one of those magazines that's only subscribed to in Florida. You think?
Yeah, probably not a nationwide readership.
Yeah. In 2024, researchers at the University of Massachusetts Amherst found that 15.3% of tarpon hooked and fought for over 5 minutes were eaten on the line. But this rise in depredation reflects recovering great hammerhead shark populations and increasing fishing activity, not an ecosystem imbalance. So in other words, shark like to eat them. When you have them on the line for more than 5 minutes, they just... And
so you're fishing for a tarpon, but you end up catching a hammerhead shark?
That's right. Yeah, you end up getting bigger fish.
Huh.
Yeah. Kind of interesting, huh? Speaking of interesting, you've seen the Fast and the Furious movies, haven't you?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Have you seen?
I don't think I have.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I've definitely seen the trailers.
Good. That's all you need to see.
Okay.
Okay. Because I'm just going to make a quick reference. What happens when the Fast and the Furious get faster and furiouser?
They crash and burn.
Kinda. Or they get picked up by Orange County police.
Oh, well, that's an option too.
What if I told you that an Olympic track star couldn't get fast enough?
Oh,
Sha'Carri Richardson
oh,
this past week decided she couldn't get fast enough on her feet, so she'd take it out on a car.
oh no, Shikari. Bad choice.
Olympic track star Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested in Orange County for super speeding. According to deputies, we go to Claremont, Florida, where Olympic track star Sha'Carri Richardson, who's all of 25 years old, has allegedly been caught speeding, but this time it was in a vehicle. The fastest woman in the world was pulled over and arrested last Thursday after Orange County deputies say she was going 104 miles per hour on State Road 429 near Stony Brook Parkway.
Oh, that is fast.
Pretty quick for little old Sha'Carri Richardson. OCSO said Richardson was dangerously tailgating and traveling across lanes to pass other motorists.
Oh no, why so aggressive? What's going on? Where's she trying to go?
The Olympics.
I guess.
She's got to make it to the Summer Olympics in time.
Say it's the wrong season for those Olympics. We're in the winter ones right now.
Right. She was booked into the Orange County Jail and is being charged with dangerous excessive speeding of 100 miles per hour or more, according to the arrest report. Richardson posted the $500 bond and has been released from jail. It's only $500 to go 4 miles over the 100 miles per hour. That's it.
That's not bad. She probably has that in her back pocket.
Unless it's burning a hole in her pocket. Florida's super speeder law went into effect in 2025, aimed at getting high-speed drivers off the road. The law targets drivers going 50 miles per hour over the posted speed limit over 100 miles per hour on any roadway. Yikes. In 2021, Richardson was disqualified from the Tokyo Olympics after testing positive for THC during a post-race drug test, leading to a 30-day suspension. Her absence from the Tokyo Olympics reignited the debate over the criminalization of marijuana, given its growing acceptance and legalization in multiple states. Richardson competed and won the 100-meter at the U.S. Outdoor Track and Field Championships. A year later, she competed in the 2024 Paris Olympics, where she won gold and silver medals. So, evidently, a little bit of weed never slowed down anybody. Know what I mean?
Nope, not in this case.
Not in this case. All right. And our final story before we get not safe for work is this. Ready for this, Jess?
Yes.
If I were to say to you, Jess, your worst fear is, you would say what?
Zombies attacking me.
Okay. Next, your worst fear in your home is what?
Spiders.
That's a good one.
I don't like spiders.
Okay. My worst fear in my home that I would call police for is what?
Probably someone breaking in.
Well, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
My worst irrational fear that I would call police for is what?
A zombie breaking in
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
with a bag full of spiders.
With a bag full of spiders. Okay, so a zombie carrying a bag full of spiders in your home would get you to call police.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you would end up on this program.
I'm lucky.
You're lucky. Well, a Florida deputy made today's program after he removed huge frogs from a home after a 911 caller called to say she was deathly afraid
Of frogs?
of frogs.
Must be like my dream come true. I love frogs.
Right?
Huh.
She heard ribbit and went, and then called 911.
What a funny fear. I wonder why.
Because there was not one but two of them, Jess. That's why.
Just two?
It was a frog gang.
She was being invaded.
That's right. It was a home invasion by a couple of frogs, and she needed them to F out.
It was a frog gang initiation, and her house was the house they were hitting.
That's right. Deputy Rios found 2 frogs inside a Lakeland home. And by the way, I've got a picture of Deputy Rios subduing both suspects.
Oh, they're so little.
I know. Okay.
Oh my God. See, now I think if you have a frog in your house like that, you're actually lucky because we had like a little green tree frog that was on one of our plants.
Uh,
And we just thought it was the coolest thing ever. He was inside and we're like, we love him.
See, I mean, Deputy Rios doesn't look like she's put out too much by this.
She doesn't look afraid.
A Polk County deputy helped a 911 caller who said there was a frog under her couch and she was deathly afraid of the animals, according to the sheriff's officials. The Polk County Sheriff's Office said Deputy Rios responded to Apache Lane in Lakeland to help the 911 caller. The caller said she wanted help getting the frog outside and that it was huge and big, both huge and big.
Large.
And large. She also said that she was afraid of frogs and her anxiety was very high. Well, there wasn't just one frog under the couch, but there was 2.
My gosh. They were a couple. They just found a nice place to have some privacy.
That's right. Well, and they were making plans.
Conspiring.
Rios then snapped a photo holding the 2 huge and big frogs after removing them from the home.
Oh.
Huge and big frogs. Speaking of huge and big, it's time now for our not safe for work category here on the big program. So if we're going to start talking about huge and big things, we need you to get the kids out of the room. By all means, escort them over to watch Bluey or whatever it is they do at this time of day. And by all means, grab your boss and go escort him over to a TV and let him watch Bluey as well. And we'll get this thing started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It's time now, again, Jess, speaking of huge and big, to talk about the Wallace Monument flasher.
It was probably small and tiny.
The flasher might argue that. The Wallace Monument flasher whipped out his willy to take a pee at a famous spot as cops raced to the scene.
You just imagine them getting the call on their walkie-talkie and they're all just flying.
They're like, let's catch him in midstream, shall we?
Public urination. We're on it.
We're on it. Not literally on it because they'd get a little wet. Tipsy tourist affronts visitors to the famous shrine of Scotland's greatest warrior. Cops staged a raid on Scotland's famous Wallace Monument after a tourist flashed his bits in the crown of the tower. A police van and a patrol car with blue lights flashing raced to the monument in Stirling amid fears that a politically motivated crime may be taking place. It is thought that the offender whipped out his manhood to take a pee at the top of the 220-foot structure, which involves a 246-step spiral staircase climb.
Wow. It's quite a workout to get up there and pee off the top.
That's a big stream. I don't get it.
Well, and like, how long is he peeing for that they had enough time to have it hauled in and then drive there with the lights on, still catch him in the act? How freaking long is this guy peeing?
How many Guinnesses have you had? I mean, come on.
Quite a few, I guess.
Right? Shocked visitors called cops over the outrageous act at the landmark that stands as a shrine to Scottish freedom fighter William Wallace. Officers raced to the top of the tower and arrested the offender before dragging him down the stairs and into a waiting police van. You're right, Jess. He would have had to have peed for like half an hour. Right?
It seems like it would have to be quite a while.
Right. One source said people were doing as they do, gazing out from the crown of the National Wallace Monument to the various significant places like Stirling Castle, Bannockburn, and Stirling Bridge. I mean, they were having a nice night or a nice afternoon. One of those gathered decided to get his manhood out in the room, which essentially a watchtower and panoramic viewing area. He didn't seem to be aware that the Wallace Monument has massive cultural significance in Scotland. Or maybe he did, and he just decided to show his willy the significance of the monument.
Yeah, maybe he was just jealous. He's like, this guy gets a monument. Well, let me show you what I got.
Let me show you my monument, right? Ta-da! Some diehards would regard the act as a desecration, and the man is lucky to have gotten away with a charge of antisocial behavior. The source said they were stunned to see the police response, which involved a van, a patrol car, and at least 6 officers. Maybe they needed multiple handcuffs.
Whole troop.
The whole troop, yeah. They said the blue lights were flashing, and it looked quite dramatic for a Sunday afternoon. The police van stayed in the car park, and the other car drove up the narrow pathway up to the monument and parked there while they grabbed the guy and took statements from staff. People were horrified at what he had done, they said. The source added the guy looked like he might be in his 40s. He's old enough to know better then. And he sounded as though he were speaking English in a second language. He wasn't keen on getting into the custody van, but you couldn't say he was resisting arrest. The 220-foot tower honors Sir William Wallace, whose heroics were immortalized in Mel Gibson's worldwide blockbuster Braveheart.
Wow. I think it's kind of cool they have a charge of antisocial behavior.
Yeah, right. I mean,
That's awesome.
By the way, 80,000 people have made their way to the town of Sterling to go see the William Wallace Monument.
I mean, it's pretty cool. If you're in the area, I would definitely stop and see it. I wouldn't pee off of it.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
It'd be very complicated for me because I'm a girl and I can't like whip it out. You have to like crouch over the edge and you can fall.
But if you're flexible enough, why not?
That sounds dangerous.
Give it a shot. If you can make it safe, if you can stabilize yourself, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
And that would definitely give the cops time to come get me because it would take me a whole lot of time to like position myself properly so that I can key off the side. That would take about 30 minutes.
You know what I say? Bring bungees, because in that way you can stabilize yourself and get yourself tied in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, do things safe. That's what I say. Safety first.
Safety is always first, Tim. That's good advice.
Safety is always first. Well, if you think that act was a little outrageous, Jess, boy, have I got a good one for you. We'll go from Scotland all the way back to Florida.
All right.
Where a 51-year-old Florida man said, I can top that. And he's busted for sexual performance with a vacuum cleaner.
I'm sorry, I don't have words.
Well, he does. Let's find out what they are. A Florida man was arrested this week for indecent exposure after he allegedly engaged in sexual performance with a vacuum cleaner at a gated resort community near Disney World. Because when I think Mickey and Minnie, I think I want to fuck that vacuum.
And I love how it's called a sexual performance. Like it was a whole like choreographed routine.
Like you made the vacuum talk?
Yeah.
Hey, vacuum, you're looking pretty sexy. Oh, thank you, sir. You're looking pretty sexy too. Yeah, I don't know if there was an actual performance involved, but maybe there was.
Oh.
According to police, witnesses provided statements and a cell phone recording showing Kevin Dale Westerhold, who's all of 51 years old. By the way, this is what a guy who has Congress with a vacuum looks like.
Well, he looks like some sort of I don't know, like he should be on one of those shows where he's like wearing tight pants and he looks like the Hulk a little bit.
Doesn't he look like an athletic meathead? Like,
yeah, because his neck is bigger than his head.
He's like, hey, coach, put me in. I want to fuck that vacuum.
Wow. That's so creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to make love to your vacuum, do it in private.
Well, he did do it in the privates. I mean,
Ah.
According to police, witnesses provided statements and a cell phone recording. So, yes, it's on tape, showing 51-year-old Kevin Dale Westerhold partially clothed and communing with the appliance. Somewhere the inventor of the Kirby vacuum is out there smiling.
He's like, that's exactly what I was hoping someone would do with it.
You know what? When I invented that much suction power, I thought, yeah, that's where I want you to stick it. Deputies responded last Thursday to the Windsor Hills Resort in Kissimmee after receiving 911 calls about a male suspect's lewd vacuum encounter. But by the time cops arrived at the scene, the man had left the area, probably ashamed and somewhat sore.
I would think.
Right?
That would hurt.
Well, depending on how good the vacuum was.
I mean, if you have a shark, it's going to pull that thing right off.
I'm glad you gave the review of the shark while you were at it.
I don't know. I have a shark and it sucks a lot of stuff up. So I'm just saying. I feel like he'd be leaving one less appendage when he was done.
I mean, I have a shark, and a subsequent investigation resulted in the identification of Westerhold, who cops say is suspected based on witness accounts and video evidence of several other instances of indecent exposure at the property. This isn't his first go around, Jess.
He just likes to come to Disneyland and like have sex with things.
You kind of nailed it in the first part of that sentence. He likes to come to Disneyland. Westerhold and his wife own condos at the Kissimmee Resort, which they rent out via Airbnb.
Ew. I don't want
Yeah.
to stay in that guy's condo. It's got to be covered in jizz.
Don't bring the black light if you're staying at the Airbnb. I'm just saying. Westerhold was arrested Tuesday at his residence in Oviedo, Seminole County city, about 35 miles away from Kissimmee, charged with exposure of sexual organs, which is a misdemeanor. Westerhold was booked into the county jail. On how much bond? Let's play this game. How much?
Oh,
How much to get caught doing your vacuum?
certainly not enough if I had to guess, but I don't know. I'm going to say over the 1,000 mark. How about 1,500?
Let's go a little higher.
Really? Okay, good. I'm glad. 2,000, 2,500, somewhere in there.
There you go, 2,500. Thanks for playing.
Oh, good.
There you go. Nice. He does not appear to still be in custody, so he must have made bond. Westerhold did not return a smoking gun phone message seeking comment about his alleged vacuum tryst, probably because he couldn't hear over the sound of the motor of the vacuum. Not quite
He
sure.
was too busy trying to figure out how he could have sex with his phone to return your
Right.
message.
You just saw a lot of this.
He's like, I don't know. There's this little hole where the plug-in thing goes. I think I could have sex with that. What a freak.
You've heard that 007 has a license to kill?
Yes.
Well, in Oklahoma, strippers may need a license to get naked.
To get a license for that, huh?
Yeah, you may need a license for it sooner or later. Two lawmakers are out to see Oklahoma strippers need a license to shake that thing. At least two lawmakers have filed legislation that would require strippers to be licensed by the state so they can perform. Both bills also seek to increase the minimum age to perform in strip clubs from 18 to 21. House Bill 3832 by Representative Stan May, a Republican out of Broken Arrow, is dubbed the Entertainer Safety and Verification Act, while Senate Bill 1284 by Senator Warren Hamilton, who's a Republican out of McCurtain, is called the Exotic Entertainer Licensing Act. Under both measures, the Alcoholic Beverage Law Enforcement Commission would issue the license. Why the Alcoholic Beverage Law Enforcement Commission is doing it, I don't know, and promulgate rules governing the process. Information provided to the agency from those seeking a license shall be kept confidential, with exceptions for ABLE in law enforcement. That's ABLE. Those seeking a license must be a U.S. citizen or a legal resident and not have committed certain felonies, according to both measures. Applicants must also provide proof of identity, including a government-issued identification document with a picture. Hamilton and May said the measures are needed to reduce human trafficking. Well, that part makes sense. I get
I
that.
like that.
Yeah. We are going to require the identifications, May said. Whether you agree with those places or not, we should all agree people participating should be doing it of their own free will and not being trafficked from another state or country. Once a person begins working as a stripper, it is hard to break free, May said. Hamilton said the state has a responsibility to protect children and said that licensing agreements, or requirements rather, were requested by the Tulsa and Oklahoma City Police Departments. There is an actual nonprofit called Strippers United that advocates for workers' rights and safety. and they did not respond to a request for comment on this article,
Oh.
which is interesting.
I would think that strippers would think that might be a good thing, though, because it really is protective.
But it's also government regulation.
That's true.
Yeah.
At first, I thought they maybe had to take like a test. Like when I got a teaching license, I had to take a really hard test. Can you imagine the stripper test? Like, kind of questions are on there?
I would think that'd be a math test with bills involved. If a customer gives you a 20 and wants change,
Yeah, that makes sense.
where does it come from? Yeah, stuff like that. That's a joke, folks. First of all, you have to go, a stripper gives change. That's a joke. Across the country, a patchwork system governs requirements for strippers. Some states, by the way, most dancers are out there going, it's not a stripper, it's a dancer. That's another joke. Some states have left it up to local cities and counties to create requirements governing adult entertainers. Employees working in the industry in other states have expressed concerns about whether the public licensing databases that contain their personal information and photographs can open them to harm and exploitation if accessed by the wrong people. That's a good concern. Under both bills, first-time offenders who perform without a license or with an expired license face a misdemeanor punishable by a $500 fine and 1 year confinement or both.
Huh. And what if they want to do something different down the road? Like they maybe don't want to be a stripper forever. Maybe they're just doing it to pay for college and they want to be a lawyer, but then they're in this stripper database and then they go to law school and people can like access that information and use it against them and embarrass them.
There you go.
Hmm.
That's a good one too. By the way, under May's bill, the fine increases to $1,000 for a second violation, while Hamilton's bill increases the fine to $10,000. So it becomes punitive quite quickly. It seems like it's a way to collect more money for the state.
I think you're onto something there. Yeah, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. There's also penalties for the businesses to be found in violation as well. So it seems like it's a way to punish the
Seems
sex.
like they could probably protect ladies from, human trafficking in other ways without putting them in a permanent database with personally identifying information.
Right. It really does seem like it's a way of punishing that business.
Yeah, see, they had me at the start. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Protect the ladies. But then the more we thought about it, the more I was like, nope.
Yeah, to me, it seems like go after them for what they have, right?
Yep. Let them do their thing.
Yep. Yeah. Now, again, we mentioned Valentine's Day right around the corner. A lot of guys, and we're mentioning strippers as well. A lot of guys, sometimes if they frequent those clubs, they tend to think that maybe that the strippers there might be a little in love with them. They get a little disenfranchised, right? One guy this past week got busted over some stripper gifts.
Oh, I hate to break it to you guys, but they're not in love with you.
What?
No.
I mean, really? You don't say. When I was younger, there was a stripper down in Cannon Falls that looked a lot like Janet Jackson. I thought maybe she might have been in love with me, but I guess not.
Ooh, no, I don't think so.
She smelled like strawberries.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways,
better than tuna.
Oh, Jess. Wow.
I don't know. Sorry.
Wow. Ooh, gut punch. All right. Just take a breath on that one.
Yeah, have a swig of something. Wash that out of your mouth.
Thank you very much. Well, I didn't ever have it in my mouth. Thank you. That would have cost a lot more than I had in my wallet. A romantic is busted over stripper gifts. A man used fake bills to pay for a bouquet and some sweets. Evidently, he wasn't willing to spend that much. I could
use Monopoly money.
Well, I think he might have printed it himself.
Oh,
let's I'll give you a little.
It went red.
Oh, it went red. It disappeared.
So was it only a bill on one side and the other side was white? It was like on printer paper.
It might have been. It might have been his own deal there. Let's see here. Let's do this one more time. Yeah, I think he might have he might have went to just do a little. You know how you get the funny money at the dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in, you buy it off the shelf, and
Yeah,
it's,
he was
it's
just using that.
yeah, it's not. And they tell you it's not real currency. Might have been one of those deals. I doubt it's monopoly money. Monopoly money is so obviously not money. But
Because it's yellow and pink.
although I went to in 2019, I went to AEW's first pay per view, Double
Mm-hmm.
or Nothing, and the Young Bucks. They part of their entrance was when they came out, they shot money out of a cannon, and it
Ooh,
was
fun.
actual Young Bucks, and I have one of them.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because I was sitting ringside. So when the Young Bucks went off, I grabbed one of them out of the air. So I and-
Oh,
but it's the actual Young Bucks on the money. So you can
that's
tell,
very cool.
obviously not spendable, but
Well, don't try to use that to buy intern Yoko her Valentine Day gift.
I can't do that.
No, I don't think you'll get much with it.
I could try. I mean,
Could try.
it's actually worth something to some wrestling nerd somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
Mm. Yeah, so I might be able to get something for it. Never know. But back to this guy. If you're getting a jump on Valentine's Day, or this guy especially, this misguided romantic passed $300 in counterfeit currency to purchase a floral bouquet and chocolates for the object of his affections, who is a dancer at a Florida strip club. Investigators allege that 32-year-old Alexander Baker Depew used the funny money Tuesday at a Clearwater florist. The accused man, cops say, handed over $15 bills to cover his $288 purchase
For followers?
for flowers.
Oh my goodness, that's outrageous.
This guy has never heard of online florists before, has he? You can get coupons right in the little thing. You can have them
I
delivered.
mean, if my husband spends more than $20 on flowers for me, I'm mad. That is a waste.
$288. It was only after Baker Depew departed that a worker realized that the bills were fake, marked with the word replica.
Oh,
He went to he
right on there.
yeah, he went to the dollar store and got them. And that the notation that the item was not legal tender and only to be used for motion pictures. Oh, he got the set money.
Oh, so it looks really real
Yep.
from a distance.
Yep.
Huh.
After leaving the florist, Baker Depew headed to the nearby Oasis Cabaret, which advertises itself as a topless full contact entertainment facility. And
Wow, full contact.
yeah, look at that. You know what? Blocking and tackling. There's a lot of
You're
that.
gonna you're gonna get a boob in the face,
I guess you'll
whether you like it or not.
I guess there is a little tuna taste there. And employs the woman he fancied there at the topless full contact entertainment facility. Maybe there's a reason
Oh,
he spent $288 on flowers.
I
No.
guess.
Yeah. According to Chris Rock, there is sex in the champagne room there.
Is there?
Maybe it's full cut.
Icky. Ugh.
While at the strip club, Baker Depew allegedly tried to pay his bar tab with phony 20s as well, which resulted in police being called to the adult establishment. Baker Depew, who told cops he did not realize the cash was counterfeit, had about $400 more in phony currency in his pockets. So now we're up to about $688 in phony currency.
But he didn't know. He didn't when he bought it and had to take the little plastic wrap off of it, and he didn't know it wasn't real.
Court records do not indicate what, if any, relationship existed between the dancer and the defendant, who is listed as a transient in arrest reports. In addition to charges for passing the prop currency, Baker Depew was hit with other felony counts when a frisk turned up cocaine and methamphetamine. Yay!
Shocker.
There's drugs involved. He's being held in the county jail in lieu of. Ooh, how much bond you want to go for here, Jess? Real quick guess.
Uh,
He passes almost.
five.
He passes
Huh?
almost $700 in fake currency.
Yeah.
So how much?
It's got to be more than the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, I don't know, $5,000.
Go higher. I'll give you
More?
Yep.
Like a lot higher, or am I
Wow.
warm?
A lot higher.
A lot higher. Well, how about 10,000?
More. One
Higher,
more guess.
higher than that?
Higher than that.
Huh. Well, I'm just going to go up in an increment of 5. How about 15,000?
$21,000.
Wow. That's crazy to me because I feel like we've had more violent crimes that have had lower.
Well, you know
And this
why?
is skeezy, but
You know why? It's a state crime right now, but it will soon be a federal crime. There will be federal
oh, I
charges.
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Huh.
passing counterfeit bills.
Well, keep your fake money at home, boys and girls.
Yep, that's for sure. All right. Our final story today before we get to our palate cleanser is this. By the way, if you can't have a wild threesome in the back of a tuk-tuk, you can't do anything on vacation. I'm just letting you know right now, if someone's looking to get me something for my birthday this year, wild threesome in the back of a tuk-tuk in Thailand. Just saying.
I'll see what I can do, Tim.
It turns out that drunk tourists were caught having a wild threesome in the back of a tuk-tuk in Thailand. You can't do that, kids, because you might get arrested. By the way, a police-free drunk wild threesome in the back of a tuk-tuk, Jess, if you could. You got to pay off the police officer. That's the other part of it.
Can I use fake money to pay off the police?
Yes, use the fake money, please.
Okay. Taking notes.
Yeah. A motorcyclist was stuck behind the tuk-tuk and filmed the steamy romp between... Okay, we might have to change up the variables on this one. It was 2 men, 1 woman. One.
Oh.
If you could, let's change that up for me a little bit.
Hey, you can't be that picky, Tim. You're going to get what you get.
Wow. Okay. All right. Before reporting the incident to police, here's the details on this deal. This is a shocking moment. Drunk tourists appeared to have a threesome in the back of a tuk-tuk in Thailand. The passengers, 2 men, 1 woman, sparked outrage when they engaged in the public sex act while the vehicle was stuck in traffic on tourist island Phuket. I said Phuket. 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 I mean, Phuket. Isn't that how it's pronounced?
I think so.
It's not fuck it, it's Phuket, right? I mean,
But in this case, fuck it makes a lot of sense.
That's right. Footage taken by a motorist shows the woman with her breasts spilling out of her short black dress, leaning over the laps of the 2 men who were holding cups of alcohol. As flashing lights lit up the tuk-tuk's interior, one of the men removed his clothes and was seen thrusting behind the woman, who was on all 4s, while the other man was in front of her.
Oh my.
This is quite descriptive.
Well, I suppose. I mean, these tuk-tuks are like open air, aren't they? I mean, they're just like not even really in anything.
I think, yeah, it's kind of like the horse and carriage type deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like maybe kind of like a bicycle if you're lucky. Otherwise, you got the guy running in front of it, right?
That's right. That's right.
Like, what's going on back there? He doesn't even know. He's focused on the road ahead of him.
That's right. There's a little fuck going on in the tuk-tuk. You know what I mean? But the romp was interrupted when the tuk-tuk began moving again as the traffic light turned green. Samchai Sirirat, a motorcycle rider who witnessed the act unfold, said, "I took this video while I was waiting behind. Even though there was a plastic curtain, I saw everything." Oh, so there was a plastic curtain.
Oh,
But he says
like a clear plastic curtain, probably.
it was a shower curtain, but he still saw everything. He said, "I couldn't drive away because we were stuck in traffic. I recorded the video as evidence." Sure, evidence. Wink. It happened on Patong Hill on January 29th. I could have shouted at them to stop, but I was afraid it would cause a scene and put me in danger. Right. So
I just made this video to use later. I mean, turn them into the police.
Right. The first thing I did was go home and report it to the police. I mean, jerk off to it. Report it to the police. Mm-hmm. Officers said they were investigating the footage to trace the driver and find out where he took the holiday makers. Well, probably not to a bedroom anywhere. They pretty much finished in the tuk-tuk, I would believe. By the way, Finishing in the Tuk-Tuk is a brand new movie that's out at adult theaters near you, if there's such a thing. If arrested, the passengers may be charged with public obscenity, which carries a maximum fine of 5,000 baht, Police Colonel Korakrit Kantakura said the video shows 3 suspects performing obscene acts in public. We're trying to trace them, one or the other. You can throw your back out. We're trying to trace them in order to prosecute them. This kind of behavior is not acceptable. They were in full view of other road users, including families. Furious locals have urged police to crack down on tourists having public sex, claiming they are damaging the tourism reputation of the island. But little appears to have changed, with the incident becoming the latest case of holidaymakers having outdoor sex in, as Jess so eloquently put it, fuck it. So there you go. On February 27th of last year, another tourist couple had sex on the back of a driver's tuk-tuk. He dropped them off at a hotel in the Quran area as they refused to listen to his warnings. So evidently he's like, you stop now. And they were like, no.
If I ever go for a ride in a tuk-tuk, I'm definitely disinfecting it before I sit down. I'm going to come with my own sanitizer wipes.
Lysol wipes just everywhere. Just, and no black light, because
No.
never get in. Yeah. It would be horrible. With that, we're definitely going to need a palate cleanser, because we can't think about a tuk-tuk ride anywhere in Thailand now. I mean,
no, very disturbed.
Do you know what they say in One Night in Bangkok? Bangkok, Oriental City, where the city don't know what the city is getting, or whatever that line is. We definitely know what we're getting if we take a tuk-tuk ride. That's for sure. All right, we're going to go Prairie Home Companion on the bit for our palate cleanser, because we need something to just get our mind off of what we just read. So we've got 2 stories here. Actually, no, we only have one story. I'm sorry. We only have one story this week, and it's a wholesome story, Jess. It's a good old-fashioned Midwestern Prairie Home Companion type story that's just going to get all the naughtiness and dirtiness out of us. Are you ready?
I'm so excited. Yes.
Fresh, cleansing story that's going to uplift us and let us know that, yes, little miracles can happen that will eventually bring abundance back to us. Are you ready for this?
Yes. I love it.
All right. A 91-year-old Nebraska woman's rare porch crock turns out to be a $32,000 treasure.
What? That's amazing.
Yes. I have a picture of this woman right here. Here she is with her porch crock. There she is.
Oh, I love her. That's a giant crock.
A crock of what? No,
I mean, she could sit in it.
She could. Right. And here's the great thing for us here locally. It has a Minnesota connection. You ready for this? This is why I say little Prairie Home Companion deal. A 91-year-old Nebraska woman brought her rare 30-gallon old Red Wing crock, Red Wing, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
And she thought it might fetch $100 at auction, and nearly sold it at a garage sale for $20. She nearly got rid of it for $20, Jess.
Oh, wow.
Instead, a local auctioneer spotted the treasure and sold it for her for $32,000. Ready for this?
Yeah.
With a shotgun under her arm and a phone in his hand, a man obsessed with classic Red Wing pottery paused his pheasant hunt and bought a 30-gallon crock for $32,000.
That's amazing. First of all, who has that kind of extra money just to spend on a crock?
Right. It was January 10th, and at an auction in Nebraska, the man on the phone outbid everyone, including a man standing at the back of the room who continued bidding until it hit $19,000. Then all that were left were the heavy hitters calling in. We had 3 people on cell phones calling in bids, one from Iowa, one from Kansas, and I think one from either Arizona or Texas. The guy in Kansas won out on it, remembered Ken Bramer, who was the auctioneer. Passion. We refer to them as passionate collectors, explained Red Wing expert Larry Peterson, who has done business with the unnamed Kansas buyer. He apparently went back to hunting pheasant after making his purchase. This is a unique piece. It's 30 gallons, which makes it extremely rare, explained Peterson. It's got stenciling on the side, which is not common at all. Some people think there's 4 of them out there. I know of a damaged one. There's probably 4 or 5 of them out there in the world, continued Peterson. For much of its life, this crock dwelled in obscurity. It was an exceptionally heavy afterthought, left in the shed or out on the porch or by the grill. It took 2 adults to move it. That's how heavy it is.
Yeah, it's big.
No one could see it was a sleeper gold mine accruing value year by year. It was shaped by clay pulled from the earth around Red Wing, Minnesota, and fired in a massive kiln sometime in the late 1800s. Think of the crock as the tricked out Yeti cooler of its day. It was used to store everything from pork to pickles, butter to biscuits, down in the cellar where its fired clay walls grew as cold as the cellar floor. This imbues it with the power of refrigeration. Much later in life, it would store propane. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Lois Jurgens never paid much attention to the hulking stoneware crock sitting in her back porch in Holdridge, Nebraska. Her late husband, Dick, had moved it from the family shed years ago where they built their home in the south central Nebraska town of around 5,000 people. She asked him to put a board on top of it so she could use it as a table next to the grill.
There you go. That's smart.
Yeah. Dick did the grilling, so that's what he used to put the tools on. Jurgens told Cowboy State Daily, describing how she stashed extra fuel tanks inside. That was about the extent of her relationship with the massive vessel that had weathered decades of indifference from Jurgens. Last summer, she considered putting it in a garage sale for $20. Her son thought about hauling it to a community sale, but it was too heavy to lift. It just stayed on the porch, Jurgens said. Here's the birthday surprise, however. On January 10th, auctioneer Ken Bramer stood before nearly 300 people at the Phelps County 4-H building and dropped his gavel at $32,000 for that weathered piece of property, or pottery rather. It was Jurgens' 91st birthday on that day. She wasn't there to hear it, but instead volunteering at a funeral at her church that morning. That's the kind of service that she put there. When she arrived later that afternoon, Bramer spotted her in the crowd and stopped the auction. Lois, could you come up to the front? He called out. He told the crowd that this was the lady that owned the crock, and then asked her what she thought it brought in. She goes, well, I hope it got $100, she told him. We did just a little bit better, Bramer replied. We got $32,000.
Oh my God. He's lucky she didn't have a heart attack.
Right. Bramer's wife and son grabbed a hold of her as she went weak in the knees at that point.
Oh.
They walked her to the stage and sat her down beside the crock for a photograph, which is the one I just showed you on film. Before the auction, Bramer called Peterson, the Red Wing expert. He co-authored 3 books on the subject and has operated a shop in Red Wing for 30 years. Peterson explained what made it so special. Its unusually large size. It bore a double stamp reading Red Wing, Minnesota, which is uncommon. Plus, the crock featured a hand-painted cobalt butterfly design applied by craftspeople who work like cake decorators, dripping blue pigment onto the clay before firing it in a kiln at 2,200 degrees. Its size, its rareness, its beauty, it's got a double marking on it, Peterson said. And in its heyday, the Red Wing Stoneware Company was shipping pottery like this across America by rail. The company operated from 1877 to 1967, producing everything from salt glazed crocks to dinnerware. The glaciers that carved Minnesota left behind some of the finest stoneware clay in the country, said Peterson. Just 10 to 15 minutes from Red Wing, the railroad system carried the pottery to small towns across the nation, including Nebraska. So essentially, they had this bidding war, like I had mentioned, where they had these 3 guys who were bidding on this. It had got to $19,000. Then eventually they had the one guy who bid $32,000. And again, he went back to his pheasant hunt.
That's the best part.
And then there you go. $32,000 for that one piece. And our 91-year-old woman got what she thought was going to be $20.
Yeah. Or 100 tops.
100 tops. Yeah. She thought hope for 100 tops and got that. Now, the interesting part of this is they talk about Jurgens, who has the back in Red Wing. Peterson said pottery's legacy continues to inspire a growing cadre of collectors and fans. They have a Red Wings Collectors Society for these crocks, which is getting close to its 50th anniversary. he described a vision for a museum. They're going to have a pottery museum in Red Wing. They're working to redo the main kiln. The kiln was 100 feet long. It's the largest pottery kiln in the world at the time that it was made. Peterson said the key ingredient was the key ingredient to it all remains in abundance. He said he wants to open up a clay pit so potters can dig their clay. There's a lot of potters today that want to use their clay to work with, the clay in Red Wing.
Yeah.
Eventually, they want to start making these crocks again.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was her 91st birthday. That's like, I love that story so much.
Yeah. So it was
Yay, Lois.
So it was her 91st birthday. It was Lois's 91st birthday. She made $32,000 off that crock.
Aw.
There you go. So it was a little winded, but there you go.
It was so good. It was worth getting through all of the disgusting, not safe for work stories to get us to that point.
There you go. So we took the long way around, but there you go, folks. That was Dumb Crimes, Stupid Criminals for today. And I told you it would pay off eventually.
Oh yeah, my palate is cleansed.
There you go.
I laughed, I gagged, and then I smiled so big my cheeks hurt. It was a perfect show, Tim.
There you go. Well, we tried, right? All right, tomorrow, Supernatural News with Mally Fox. By the way, what do you have going on in your world?
I don't have a lot going on right now. I have one event and it's only for kids, so just writing books.
Well, you can tell people what the kid event is so they can bring their kid.
Well, I think the teachers have to sign them up. It's a young writers and artists event in like Mankato at all of a sudden I can't think of where it's at. It's at a college.
At the Hardys with Keith Millard? Is that where it is?
It's actually the same event I went to as a kid. It's kind of awesome because when I was in 6th grade, my teacher selected me to go to this young writers conference. And she's like, "You're such a good writer. You should go to this conference." And I was like, "That's so exciting." And so I went to this conference and then there was a tornado and we just spent, the only thing I remember is like spending half the time in the bathroom with my head in my knees.
What is it about? Okay, so you had that event and I went to the Tommy Kramer Ahmad Rashad football camp and we spent half the time at McAllister College, again, in a tornado shelter because we had...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, oh, here's this wonderful opportunity. Your dream's coming true, Timmy. And then, oh, sorry, just kidding, kid.
Yeah, we'll throw you in a tornado shelter. Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it's just Minnesota. Maybe that's the deal.
maybe it is. I'll just blame it on the crazy weather here. But yeah, so that's what I have going on. That's in March, I think. But yeah, otherwise I'm keeping it pretty quiet because I have all these books I'm trying to get done and meet my deadlines. So
Interesting. All right.
sure, we'll have some stuff coming up here though before long.
All right. Before we leave you today, a reminder that there is True Crime Tuesday merchandise. Just go to darknessradioshow.com, go to the shop section and click on, there's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's desk mats, there's all kinds of stuff. So go get your True Crime Tuesday merchandise.
Ooh.
So go get that. Supernatural News with Mally Fox tomorrow on the big program. And then I'm going to keep Thursday a little bit secret right now.
Okay.
No clues, no hints.
Wow, nothing, huh?
No, but it's big. I'll let you know it's big.
Ooh.
Continue on the anniversary tour, 20th anniversary tour, and I'll just let you know that an old friend's stopping by.
Well, I am definitely intrigued.
Yeah, I'll give you that much. That's about it. That's about it for today. So, folks, I want to thank you so much for, again, continuing to listen to the program and continuing to tell your friends about it. Rate and review. Give us a good review. By the way, if you're listening to this program and not watching it on video, please go to YouTube, like and subscribe the program once you watch the video, or go to darknessradioshow.com and you'll find the program there, both the audio and the video. It's both married in one place. You can watch a video there as well. So for Jessica Freeburg, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for continuing to watch and listen to the best in true crime podcasting. You've been tuned into True Crime Tuesday.
For more audio and video archives of True Crime Tuesday, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's program, make sure you like and subscribe. This videocast is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this videocast, including video, audio, descriptions, or accounts of today's show are prohibited without the consent of Darkness Radio Management. Thank you for watching, and be sure to join us tomorrow for Mally Fox and Supernatural News.